In this video, you will be meeting my awesome friend Lena. She shares with you where she was before we started to work together, where she was feeling so completely stuck in her life. And today she is creating a magical life for herself, which I'm so excited for you to see what can actually happen when you start to work with the subconscious mind. And one more thing that is really cool with her that I'm really grateful that she shares is that she didn't have the money to do this program, and in this video she shares with you that whole story as well and how it all came about. It's really magical. We haven't met. Hi, I'm Linda. I'm the founder of the Fertility Alignment. I'm truly excited that you have found this video, and right now let's get started with the video.
Every single day I'm gonna make something great.
You have come so far in your whole development, and now you are also doing hypnosis for other people. So and we have become kind of best friends during this whole time. So I was like, okay, where shall I even begin to ask you questions?
Yeah.
But I would just love if you could share a little bit. Do you remember where you were, like on a mental and emotional state when we first met each other?
Yeah, I think I was in a situation where I felt really stuck. I had no idea in which direction to move because everything kind of sucked. I didn't like my work, and everyone around me was kind of taking the next step, getting married or having a baby or buying a house or having some major career step, and it felt like it was happening out of a sudden, and I was like, oh wait, what's happening? It felt like everyone was pacing ahead, and I was still stuck in this weird space, and that's why I went to Sweden to see Gabby Bernstein, because I had started reading her books and it gave me relief and it helped me to feel better. And so I wanted to just get more of what she was talking about and seeing her in person. And
yeah. And that's when we met, right?
Yeah. That was kind of, yeah.
So how would you describe those? I really want to get back into that meeting we had. But before I ask you that, so do you remember, you said you felt really stuck. How would you describe that stuckness? Of course, I mean, everybody can understand a lot of things were going on. You felt that all these other people are getting ahead of you, and it just happened all of a sudden. So how did that make you feel? You said you had a feeling of stuckness. What else did you feel?
I think I had very low confidence. I think I was in a space where I wasn't really connected with myself. I had been in a relationship before that was really exhausting. And so I still felt exhausted most of the time. And I couldn't get rid of that feeling. I don't know. It was just more of a feeling like, okay, I'm here and I'm doing something, but it felt not really exciting or interesting or anything. So just in a really weird space. And also I think I felt sorry for myself a lot, because I had other plans, right, and they didn't work, and it felt like, okay, why is it working for everyone else? Which is of course, a feeling sorry for yourself thought.
Yeah. But that is such a common feeling, and I'm so happy that you're bringing that one up, because that's exactly how I used to feel as well. Sometimes we are looking at other people and we see that, hey, other people are doing things, but for some reason I'm not doing them. So, and that kind of gives us perspective in a way that, okay, it's possible to achieve that, but for some reason it's not working for me. Yeah. And that little feeling, for some reason it's not working out for me, but I see that it's possible, that led you to search for answers, right? That's why you found Gabby Bernstein. That's why you decided to come to Sweden to her event, right?
Yeah. I definitely didn't want to stay where I was. And that's when I started to search for answers. And I mean, I had some therapy experiences before, and there was also a little thing that was going on where I felt like, okay, I went to therapy when I was 18, because there was a lot of stuff going on, and I thought, okay, and it's, from my perspective now, it's really sweet because at that point I thought, I'll work through it now and then I'll be done. And so, but still there was also this feeling like, okay, I've tried so many things and I've done a lot of therapy and coaching and self-development, but it feels still not enough. And so,
yeah, because you still had a feeling of stuckness, as you described.
Yeah.
So, and those things that you were doing, would you say that they were working on a conscious level of your mind?
Yes. I think they were really helping on a conscious level to understand things better and to maybe get a different perspective. So that was quite helpful. But I think that's what sometimes happens when you work only on the conscious mind, that you understand a lot, but then you don't know what to do with it, or just knowing it actually doesn't change anything.
Exactly. And that sometimes, from my experience at least, and what I see with my client as well, is that sometimes that makes us feel even more frustrated because now we have the knowledge and it's still not happening. And that is because it's that, like, it's just out of alignment between the conscious and the subconscious. But back then you were not aware of that, obviously. So how would you describe the meeting? Because we happened to come there with the same bus, and then we started to talk outside, and we were both looking for the event. So the universe really brought us together, right?
100%.
And it was quite fast. I think we were kind of standing in the line waiting for the event to start, and I think we started to ask questions about each other. And how did you figure out what I was doing with the rep transformation therapy? And do you remember that conversation and what you felt?
Yes. Yeah, I really remember it. And I think when you asked me, like, why do you come, such a long way from Germany to Sweden for a one-day event? And then, I don't know, maybe it was because there was some recognition, or I don't know, but I was just like, okay, I'll tell you everything. And then, it was just easy to talk to you, and so I just told you all those things, and that I felt so stuck, and that I didn't know how I could change the whole thing, mainly in my mind, right? Because I was going circles in my mind. I mean, on the outside, it wasn't too bad. I wasn't not having a job or living on the streets or, really bad things. It was fine. But in my mind, it wasn't fine at all. And and so I told you all those things. And then you said, well, I'm working as an RTT therapist. And then you told me what it meant, and what you can do. And what really, I don't know, felt so good about us talking was your certainty. You were so certain that you could help me, right? And I felt that. And so I was like, okay, she's the one. She can really help me with the situation. And I think when the event ended, we exchanged phone numbers or email addresses, something like that. And then pretty soon after, I got in touch with you.
Yeah, and we ended up having a discovery call, right? And to really dig into, okay, where are you exactly right now, and where do you want to be? Not just a month from now, but where do you see yourself in the future, in an ideal world? Do you remember what kind of results you shared that you really wanted to experience in your life?
I think because I did the coaching package with you, from us talking, with your help, I figured out, okay, it's different areas that I want to work on. And so one of them was like job wise, what is it that I really want to do, or what is it that I could be really good at. And it was interesting because before I worked with you, I think I always knew somehow that I wanted to be a therapist or work in this area of coaching people, or just working with people. But in that, and I mean, I worked with people before, but not in that context of coaching someone, or, you know, having a one-to-one work with really good results. And so that changed immensely, that I got the confidence to be like, okay, I could really do this. Maybe I'm good at that and I can just go for it. So that was one of the things we did. Then I learned a lot about my issues with relationships and the fears around it. And I think I could, from our work, release a lot of old things from my childhood. And I don't know, it's quite some time since we.
It is, but for sure, the one thing that I think that you really described also, it was that feeling of freedom, right? You wanted to be able to be free, and you wanted to be able to make money, and you did, if I remember this right, you did not want to have that just traditional family, just working and having children and kind of just being stressed out, right? That didn't really appeal to you, am I correct?
Yes. And with the work thing also, you know, doing something that feels like you can really help someone in a way, not just on the surface where you just, you know, do a little bit, but you don't help them solve something. And then also, I think it was also a lot about, you know, I figured out that it's not that I just want a kid because, you know, I need to cross it out on my list. And so, I think that was a really helpful understanding of the whole situation, that it's okay. It's, you know, it's not because of, I think it was also a lot about figuring out that the plan I had for myself, I made when I was maybe around 15, where you know, you have a little, I mean, you look at the world around you and then you think, okay, that's how it works and that's the way it'll all be. And then when you get older and it doesn't happen like that, then you have to work with that. And so I think we worked a lot around those old beliefs and what is a family.
So that you really could create a life that you truly design and not just on that like default. So do you remember, because that was one of the things you also said, that you had been seeing a lot of therapists and job coaching people were helping you out and stuff like that. How would you describe, did you feel any difference working with me compared to working with those other people that you had experienced it with before?
I feel like the changes that happened afterwards were really impressive. You know, that I just felt better and not just for a day, but really consistently felt better. And also the release I had from the sessions. So it was all, even at the level of the body, you know, I felt like there was a lot of release of inner tension and pressure, which was amazing. And then I think sometimes it's not so easy to see it yourself, but then, you know, when you either look back at it, or when someone else says something or points something out to you. And I think when I look back and then I look at how quickly I moved from, you know, meeting you, working with you, and then really being able to say like, okay, I'll try something. I don't know if it'll work, and I'll invest money, and I'll just see where it takes me. And I was able to go over that hurdle, which I think before I was a lot in the mental space where you're just playing it safe all the time.
Yeah.
Because probably because I also wanted security and stuff. But that's also what makes life a little boring. And
especially if you want a big life.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest shift that you have experienced in your life?
I think, I'm not maybe at 100%, but in the part of just surrendering more and not trying to do everything with my head, but more go with the feeling and take some risks and just, try things and see where they take you, instead of trying to think before through all the ways it could go and then decide. We might just try to trust the feeling, trust the impulses.
Would you say that is a sense of calmness?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wonderful. And do you remember about the investment in the program, and when you got the understanding of of the prices and the investment and all of that, did you feel like, oh, I just have this money sitting around waiting for me and just I want to spend it? Or how was that process?
Yeah, so when you told me the investment, I was really sure that I wanted to do it from us talking before, because I had this really deep feeling that the working with you would help me a lot. And so, there was no doubt about it. But I also did not have the money. But then the funny thing was, and I don't know how I even remembered it, but I was thinking about, okay, how can I make this work? And, I didn't want to ask my parents because they had just helped me before with some job coaching. And so I thought, no, I don't want to ask them again. And then somehow it came to my mind that I had this
a quick little commercial break. If you are enjoying the video so far, make sure that you do press the subscribe button and that you do press the like button. It really helps the channel out. And for you, when you press the subscribe button together with the little bell symbol, that means that you will get all the updates. So when there are new videos coming out on this channel, you will get them, so that you can fully understand and learn and train your subconscious mind to overcome unexplained infertility and create a life of freedom, happiness, and fulfillment as you are moving into motherhood. Let's go back to the video.
And then somehow it came to my mind that I had this this money sitting in some bank thing. I don't even know what it was. And I also had to find a friend who knew how to get it out. But it was almost exactly the number. Oh, yeah, almost exactly, maybe 10 euros difference.
Yeah, wow.
And so it's like, okay, all the signs are on, just do it, go for it.
Yeah. Amazing. And what I believe what happened there was that you didn't say I can't afford it. You asked yourself and the universe in your mind, you were like, how?
No, yes.
How can I afford this?
That's interesting. Yeah. I didn't think of that in that way. Yeah.
And that is so powerful when we start to ask for, oh, how can this come about? Because then our mind is just wide open.
Yeah. And the doors open.
Were you nervous before our session? Like, had you done hypnosis before you tested it with me?
No. And it's so funny because and I'm really glad I had that experience now that I'm also working with people, because I know exactly how they feel. And I felt like, oh, I have no idea how this should work. because of course we were working together via Zoom, because you were in Sweden and I was in Germany, right? And so I was really nervous, and I was a bit scared that it maybe wouldn't work for me, or that maybe I'm not able to go into hypnosis, or and then it just doesn't work. So I think there was tension, and I was maybe also a little bit scared, because you also want to be a good client, right? You don't want to be the person it doesn't work for. And then it was amazing how easy it worked.
Did you feel safe?
100%. Yeah. But that was even from us talking, the first time that I felt like, what you're doing. All the things you are explaining to me, that you are telling me, make complete sense. I had no doubt in you at all, and that's what it is,
Yeah, because I shared with you my story, right? And I shared with you how much my own life had shifted and transformed, and I think that is what inspired you so much as well in the beginning. That's the thing, and I always want to share that authenticity, and because I believe that each one of us has this unique gift, but it's just hidden behind all of these different fears, the layers and layers and layers of fears and old beliefs that are no longer serving us. And it's very beautiful that you're saying that you were very, very afraid of that first hypnosis session. I remember my first hypnosis session. It was actually Marissa Peer who helped me do it in front of 30 people in a classroom. Yeah. And I was terrified, literally like 3 days before I was physically sick, because I didn't know. I was like, what if I don't see anything? And what if something horrible happened to me when I was a kid that I don't remember? So I totally get that. But what I did experience in my first session and all the sessions I've done since is that we are so powerful when we're in hypnosis. It's like we have all access to everything. Is that how would you describe it as well?
The interesting thing with hypnosis is that you're so focused on yourself and everything that's going on inside of you, and that's really I have almost no words for it, because it's so interesting. And I think you get a totally different sense of yourself. And I think that's also a big thing from working with you, that I felt so much more compassion with myself, right? Because I feel so often we are, or especially myself, like I'm really hard on myself. And with having that experience and feeling and kind of reviewing the things I experienced when I was a child, just helped so much to be much more gentle with myself, and not so pushy and bossy and mean.
And then not so long ago, because I have kept developing in all of this, and I learned new techniques, and one of the sessions that you and I tested, or we helped you to meet your future self, right?
Yes.
How was that experience?
Time is a construct, and that we can kind of access these different, I don't know how to call it, dimensions or whatever, by knowing that, okay, it'll all work out, and just relax. And I think just right before we started recording, you also said like, but we know there's divine timing, and sometimes it's really hard to trust that, that you're at the right place at the right time. But with that experience, it's often really helpful to go like, okay, it feels like I should be further, and all these, everything that the mind does, chatting all the time, be like, okay, no, just relax.
Yeah, because you have already in the future, and you know that, hey, it's gonna be fine. And I find that is so extremely powerful as well with the women who are going through unexplained infertility, that I focus so much in helping, having that ability to actually access themselves in the future where they are a mother, and just knowing like, hey, it will be fine. That is so extremely powerful.
Maybe never been in some sense as easy as it's now.
I agree.
To find someone you click with and work with, and then have really great results.
Yeah, exactly. So during the time we were working together, did you feel guided and supported? Did you feel that I was there for you?
100,000%. Yes, completely, Lena. Because I knew that I could always reach out to you, and that when I would, because I'm aware with that, and I don't want to, cross some boundaries. But even when I was like, okay, I think with that I need to get in touch with you, and I would send you a WhatsApp, you would always reply really quick, and also be available for a, I think you also had a few short check-ins with me, and that was just amazing, because I think it's a deep process, and so it helped a lot.
Yeah, I'm very, very glad to hear that. And it just made me think about now. I just saw your journey like back when we first met at that event. Would you describe it as it was kind of a crossroad in your life where you could choose to just keep going where you were going, or you would jump onto this opportunity that wants to do this program that we started to do together? Would you describe it like that it was kind of just making a brand new turn in your life?
Yeah, it's so funny, because with this whole going to this Gabby Bernstein thing and reading all these spiritual books, and I had so many issues with that myself, because before that I was always trying to make everything with my head, and I wouldn't allow anything that wasn't rational. And then, but with not knowing where to go, right, I started with Gabby Bernstein in reading into all these things, but I was also doing it a little bit hidden and in the closet, because I thought people might think, okay, now, she's going nuts because she's not having a husband and a baby and whatsoever. But then I knew I wanted to go to the event, and I didn't tell anyone. And I could have gone to London because she went there as well, and it would have been easier. But I had this little feeling that I should go to Sweden. And I didn't know why, because I had been to Sweden, I think maybe 1.5 years before for a holiday. But then at some point, this feeling didn't go away. And at some point I felt, okay, who cares? I'm not telling anyone, so I can also go to Sweden. And I think I wrote into my diary that that's really weird, and I wonder who I'll meet there or something. Ha ha ha. I just made this little comment. And when I met you there, and I told you about my situation, and you had, you was like, here's the solution. I was like, okay, that's why I went there, right? Because you were the one person with me on the bus, the one person who got off the bus with me there. Yeah. So that was just, for me, that was completely guided, and it was my reward, because I followed my intuition, that I met you there. Yeah.
What would, just when looking back now with kind of a logic brain, or maybe a feeling, I don't know which one to use, but I just want to go back to that important decision you made, because you knew, like, okay, you had that little feeling and you came there, and you also had a little feeling when you actually made a decision to work with me, because you could have chosen to not go with that feeling. You could have chosen to just say like, no, it's too expensive. I don't have the money. I don't know where the money will come from. But you did find a solution because you asked, how can I afford it? So how would you see, if you would not have made that decision, where do you think your life would have been today?
That's it feels a little bit like I don't even want to think about it, because it really, really shifted my whole situation. And just also being more often happy and stuff, right? Because before, even and maybe because I'm not a completely introverted and sad person or something, right? When I'm with people, I'm outgoing and then I have fun and all these things. But when I was by myself, I would often feel sad and go into this depressive mode that I can switch off when I'm around other people. And I think, for example, that has changed so much. I don't go back to that place anymore. And, just that alone is an amazing shift in life quality. Even, if at that moment it was a lot of money, but it was not a lot of money in terms of, what came out of it.
Yeah.
And it's always the thing that when you are where you are, it feels pretty normal. But if I, now go back 3 years ahead or something, and I would look at where I'm now and all the things I've done in between and stuff, it feels like unimaginable at the point I was at when we met. I have no idea. Maybe I would be quite depressed and just also not living my potential, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I found that I'm good at what I'm doing now, and
you are freaking good at it. I know, I've seen your growth, and I've seen how much of your truth that you are really living, and how much from being where you said you were so stuck and not knowing until now you know what you are doing, and you are also helping so many people, and it's just amazing.
What also was really transforming from working with you was this realization that before I thought, when I have all these things and all these everything that's around me, then then I can probably be happy, or that's the thing that will make me happy. And it's the other way around. And I just kind of, I don't know, maybe did not know it, that nothing outside can change what's inside. So even if I had met the perfect person at that moment 3 years ago, it wouldn't work because I had still so many things going on inside.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a different place. And then I'm really much more in this place. Okay, most of the time I'm feeling really fine with where I'm at. And then the task is to have trust in that stuff I'm longing for, that it'll work, but also, to be more relaxed. And
that inner happiness that you are experiencing now, that have come from your inside, from you healing those old things and just becoming more and more in tune with who you truly are. So based on that, because I know that you will become a mother, that's like, I've known that the whole time.
So that's also amazing with you, that even when I don't believe it for myself, in some moments I know you're knowing it for me, and so that's also already really helping, right?
In order to really be there for somebody else, in this case the child or the children, when we have our own batteries filled, we have so much love to give, and we have so much energy and presence to be there with them. And I know that that is what you are going to experience when they come in. So not only have you set up your own business and your own schedule and all of that, so you have actually fixed that for yourself. You have your own time managed. And then you will be able to be like fully present with them. And that is so beautiful. So if somebody is sitting here and they're wondering like, hey, I wanted, like, one part of me want to do this work, but I'm not really sure is it for me, would you recommend people to do this work with me?
Yes. There's no doubt about it, that I would really recommend it, because it's not only about reaching a goal. It's basically helping you in all areas of your life, right? Just deciding, okay, I'm worth having help, and having help releasing old stuff, and I invest in myself, is something that also shifts a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think so often, especially maybe women, are really, it's really easy for them or us, you know, to give to others. And so often we forgive to just give to ourselves.
I'm super excited that you are still here and that you got to hear and witness Lena's transformation. So if you want transformation in your life, how can the fertility alignment help you? In 2 huge ways. Make sure that you first of all subscribe to this channel so that you get all the updates when I'm coming out with new videos, so that you can fully learn how to work with your own subconscious mind and follow your heart until you become a happy, fulfilled, amazingly powerful mom. And the second thing, go down below to the description box where you will find my website. It is www.fertility-alignment.com. In there you can go ahead, read everything on the page, and if that resonates with you, you can apply for my private mentorship program. It is called the Becoming a Happy Mother Mentorship Program. So I'm truly excited to be seeing you in a free discovery call if you do the application, and if we feel that we are a good match. Who knows, maybe we will be sitting here, you and I, together in a video in the future where you share your awesome results with other women that are going through the same struggle that you used to go through, that you after the program have gotten rid of. So I'm so truly excited, and I'm sending you so much love, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye.